Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I am Farron Cousins from Ring of Fire and Farron Balanced, sitting in for David today. Well, in case you hadn't been paying attention, there's been a little bit of drama taking place over at Elon Musk's DOGE office with regard to an, I guess you'd call him on-again, off-again employee named Marco Ilez. Last week, the Wall Street Journal revealed that Mr. Ilez had in fact been tied to a Twitter/X account that as recently as September had been posting some pretty nasty racist things on social media, including things like normalize Indian hate and, for the record, I was racist before it was cool, and you could never pay me enough to marry outside of my ethnicity. That, of course, among several other things, including pushing for a, eugenic immigration policy. Some of those posts were from this past summer. The rest of them, of course, took place around September. So these posts were not even a year old. And that, of course, is important, because this 25-year-old employee, once the Wall Street Journal started asking the Trump administration, hey, what do y'all think about this, immediately resigned. Which is good. He should have resigned. But then on Friday, Elon Musk decided maybe this guy shouldn't resign, even though he did so voluntarily because of what was coming out. Elon Musk got on his own social media platform, Twitter, and decided to put out a poll. Should he be rehired? And one of the people who actually, I'm assuming, voted in it, but also responded to that poll was none other than Vice President J.D. Vance, who, of course, happens to be married to a woman from India. You know, the same country where Marco Ilez said normalize Indian hate. J.D. Vance has 3 children. So you would think J.D. Vance would be like, yeah, maybe this guy should go. His attacks on India are an attack on my wife. They're an attack on my kids. But no. J.D. Vance said this. Here's my view. I obviously disagree with some of Ilez's posts. Some. Not all. Like, yeah, I don't disagree with all of them. Holy hell, wow. But I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. We shouldn't reward journalists who try to destroy people ever. So I say, bring him back. If he's a bad dude or a terrible member of the team, fire him for that. So first of all, which ones of his posts do you agree with? That's the question I have. Because you said you disagree with some of them. You didn't have to add that qualifier in there, but you did. And now I want answers on that, and I think everybody in this country is entitled to answers on that question. Which ones of his posts do you agree with, Vice President Vance? Furthermore, if he's a bad dude, like, he's literally attacking your wife in this. Maybe not by name, but definitely by ethnicity. So what in your mind also, this I guess would be a follow-up question, constitutes somebody being a bad dude? Right? I would think saying I was racist before it was cool, which is one thing he did post, I would think that would make somebody a bad dude. But perhaps me and the vice president just have different standards, I guess. But I really think the public needs to demand answers to those questions. But then, of course, after J.D. Vance posts this, Elon Musk came out and he said he will be brought back. To err is human, to forgive divine. And Vance, of course, had referred to him as a kid. Shouldn't ruin a kid's life. First of all, he was 25. Second of all, these posts all took place within the last year. I mean, not even within the last year. Within the last 9 months. It's not like these were youthful indiscretions that he did at age 14. He was making these posts while you were the vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance. Okay, like, I don't know what more y'all want in order to make somebody untouchable, right? Like, we don't want to touch them. We don't want them anywhere near it. Oh, you shouldn't ruin this kid's life. No, but this kid is being given access to information that could ruin other people's lives. You seem to be fine with that. And of course, J.D. Vance, again, married to a woman from India, was called out by Democratic Representative Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna said this, quote, "Are you going to tell him to apologize for saying normalize Indian hate before this rehire? Just asking for the sake of both of our kids." And the Vice President of the United States responded to the Democratic representative by saying, quote, "Racist trolls on the internet, while offensive, don't threaten my kids. You know what does? A culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes. A culture that encourages congressmen to act like whiny children. You disgust me," the Vice President of the United States said. You, Ro Khanna, are the one that is disgusting here, not the person who posted the racist things that, of course, impact Ro Khanna's family and, of course, J.D. Vance's family. That's not disgusting to J.D. Vance, but Ro Khanna calling it out is. And here's the thing. Forgiveness, right? Mercy, as J.D. Vance is calling for. Marco Elez hasn't asked for that. Marco Elez hasn't apologized. I mean, that's literally what Ro Khanna said. Are you going to ask him to apologize? You don't give somebody forgiveness if they are not sorry. That's not how it works. If they're not seeking forgiveness, then there's nothing to forgive them for. But we can't legislate morality, even though Republicans try to do it. And so this is where we are. I guess this kid is getting brought back so that he can bring his normalized Indian hate right back into the DOGE office, where apparently that's not a disqualifying thing to say.
Once again, we're seeing big tech blur the lines between private industry and public government. Zuckerberg, Bezos, even Sam Altman at OpenAI are donating millions to Trump's inaugural fund because they say he'll lead our country into the age of AI, despite these same tech CEOs warning about how dangerous AI can be. Algorithms control what we see every day to serve corporate and political interests, which is why I've trusted Ground News for years to help me find the truth. Ground News doesn't tell you what to think. They show you each news outlet's biases, credibility, financial incentives, so you know who's benefiting from the way each news outlet spins each story. You can even filter out certain sources you don't want and stay informed without getting buried in the noise. Stay engaged with Ground News, who is fixing what is breaking right in front of us: trust and transparency in the media. Ground News is giving my audience 50% off the same Vantage plan that I use. Go to ground.news/Pacman. The link is in the description, or scan my QR code.